Right boys, I'll take you through a quick mobility sequence for you to go through with the boys, alright? So in between each set, start off with this double leg stuff and then just do a whole round on one leg all the way through with each exercise, then go to the other one. So nice and simple on the first one, you're just going to start in a push-up position, and then from here you're just going to lift your hips. Nice big stretch into the back of the legs and your calf, try and push from the floor. Once we've gone through from there, then we're just going to come back into the push-up position. This time we're just going to drop your hips down and then just squeezing the shoulder blades back so you can really try and stretch off in your tummy. Then from there you're going to sink your hips all the way back behind you and then just straighten the arms out in front, sinking down into there, and then just repeat the process. So we come from there, back up, always kind of come back to that push-up position, push the hips back, nice and straighten the legs, get a nice stretch all the way from the calves all the way up to the hamstrings. Then we're just going to come all the way through the push-up position, drop your hips down, make sure shoulder blades are going back. We're trying to stretch off all the way through our stomach. Try not to put too much pressure on your lower back, it's more about trying to open up the front of the body instead of trying to tighten up the back of the body. And then from there, you're just going to sink your hips all the way back to your heels, and then just relieve it off all the way back into there. So that's what you'll do in between each of the sequences, just to kind of loosen everything up. Then from there, boys, we'll go into that lunge position that we've done before. So I'll show you most of them from side on. So in the lunge position here, we'll do everything on our left leg. Okay, so first one, we're just literally leaning forwards. We're trying to get a stretch from our Achilles up into the back of our calf. So you can either lean forwards, putting weight onto your knee if you want to get more stretch here, or you can reach out in front. We're not going to circle all the way through today. So you're just going to reach through, maybe hold for a couple of seconds, nice hip flexor stretch as well. And then as we come all the way up and round, you're trying to tuck the hips all the way in. And then we're just sinking in to try and just get a nice stretch on that hamstring and a bit across the front of the leg as well if you're really tight. So just one more time, just reaching all the way forward. So the stretch should feel like it's through the bottom part of your calf into your hip flexor here. Then we're rolling the hips underneath us, all the way up into that lunge, and then sinking down onto the heel. Just use your hands to support. Once we've gone through that one, so same elbow to the leading leg. So we're going to support with the opposite hand. So I'm going to press down, elbow down as low as I can go. And then I'm going to try and open my body sideways first, reaching up with the hand that went down. And then we're going to bring ourselves all the way up. That lead hand that went down is now coming all the way back as far as it can. If you can reach the heel, then go for it. If you can't, just float. And then we're trying to reach that front hand all the way up. So a nice big stretch all the way down through your hip flexor here, all the way up with your fingertips to the sky. Then we kind of cartwheel it back down. Front hand to support. Same elbow or hand wherever you can get to all the way down. And then again, we're opening sideways to start with, reaching up. Back. Front hand starts to reach up. Back hand starts to aim down at the heel. Perfect. Right. Once we've done that one, we'll then move on to the side. So same leg. You can either, when you're doing it with the boys, you can just get them to move their lead leg out to one side. I'm just going to show you from side on now. So I want to line up so my hip and my knee is in the same place, and then my foot that's with the leg straight is pointing forwards, just like we do in our lateral lunge stuff. Hands to support, and you're just going to lean your hip towards your heel. So don't try and go straight back, try and go diagonal back. So we get a nice big stretch in the groin. And then we're just coming back onto the weights on our hands. So we're just going to go 10 times back and forward. If you're really flexible, you can't really see here, but I'm on my toes, so I can let my toes go, so I'm coming all the way down to a flat foot. That'll give you a bit of extra range. Then from there, boys, so the same arm that my knee is planted on the floor on, I'm going to swing underneath towards my leg that's extended. Then I'm going to roll all the way through, shoulder first, and then into my arm. You should feel a nice big stretch down into your adductor as you come all the way around here. So swinging through, then all the way back, and opening out. Once you've done that, so your leg will obviously be out to the side, so bring it back down into the lunge position. You're actually going to bring the foot across for the knee to go down, and you're trying to get that base as straight as possible. All right, I'm not too flexible in my hips, so I can't do it either. And then hands just to support either side to side of the knee or just in front. And then from here, we're just going to go nice and slow all the way down. Chest is reaching the floor and then pushing back up nice and tall. And we're just going to go all the way through and all the way back up. If you can't feel the stretch, then that's when you start to bring your foot further forwards. You can either keep the hand on it, like try and lock in the knee, and then you can go for it again. So that one you should feel right into the side of your hips, okay? Once you've done one sequence on one side, then you go back into those downward dogs, forwards, dropping the hips, and away, all the way down and through, and then you repeat on the other side. What I'd recommend doing, boys, go through one round, do everything 10 times. So one round, 10 repetitions each. If the boys need an extra bit of time, get them to just choose one exercise to go back through one more time once you've completed the whole process. Wouldn't recommend holding anything for more than 3 to 5 seconds because we're still kind of moving and you're probably going to still do some active stuff in your session. But anyone who really needs to kind of focus in and do something static, make sure that if they are to do it, they kind of move that joint around, those muscles around before you kind of get to something a bit more active. Right, boys, nice one. Give us a shout if you've got any questions.